Keep it rap food, keep it rap food. Keep it rap food, keep it rap food. Steady hands, cut clean, steady grind, builds dreams. Keep it rap food, keep it rap food. 7 days a week, let the hustle speak. Keep it rap food, keep it rap food. No rush, no skips, no.
All right, everyone. Welcome to another live stream video of Behind the X's and O's. I'm Ruben with Red Alpha Custom Prints, and we got a special guest today, Mr. Rey Soto with Running Back Classics. Ray, I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. You run a business and you got a lot of things going on, man, and for you to take a little bit of time out of your schedule to kind of be a guest on our show. It just means a lot to me, man. I appreciate that.
Of course. Yes, sir.
So yesterday we were, man. So we had the opportunity to go and drop off some business cards that we printed for you, and you've been a great customer of ours since day one, since you guys opened up, and so I thank you for that. But when I walked into the shop, it just kind of like, for me, like a person my age, it's kind of like a trip down memory lane, right? Because I was looking through the cards that you had, and I was like, I think I saw a rookie card of Tony Romo, and I saw a Troy Aikman in there, and I was like, man, these are quarterbacks back whenever I was watching that, and then noticing all the different things that you have, and I've always thought it was cool, being a kind of like watching you, build this business from scratch basically, and seeing it thrive and grow. It's just been something that's I like watching that. I like watching people do their thing, and just kind of cheering from the stands, so to speak.
Heck
And
yeah.
and so that's been something that I've been just I guess I just been meaning to tell you, man, that I admire what you've been able to do with Run It Back Classics, and what you're continuing to do, because that to me would be really hard for me, because I don't know if I have the eye that you have for what's hot right now, and what people will buy. And so I've always admired your ability to be able to keep the inventory that brings your customers in, and I guess it has to come from something that was in you before you started, or I never did know you outside of Run It Back Classics, but what is it maybe about your background that made you kind of a prime candidate for a business like this?
So just really, I've always liked style and like dressing up, streetwear, stuff like that, like pop culture. But really, it just all started with me thrifting in high school. It was about 2016, and I was thrifting a lot, and I was filling up my closet, and I was filling it up so much to where I didn't have any room to add anything. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to just sell some of the stuff I've had for a while and that I don't wear anymore. And I was like posting it on my little Instagram that I had, and it was actually, or Facebook too, and it was selling. And I had that, like, it was like a fire lit in me,
Yeah,
that I liked flipping and selling. I like selling stuff, really.
yeah, yeah.
And that's just basically how it started. After that, after I started going to the thrift store more, and I started looking for not just my size, but other sizes. And then I decided to make a little Instagram, and that was
hmm
all started in high school right there.
Wow. So you've been doing it ever since you were in high school, and it just kind of, I guess it grew organically, and
It did,
uh,
yes.
but you were actually part of the culture, right? It wasn't something that you saw that was already going. It was something that I mean, you already had interest in, and then it kind of grew from that interest that you already had. It seems like,
Yes.
and
Yes,
that's
yeah.
that's
It,
pretty cool.
it started from one piece of clothing, literally, and it
Yeah.
just to what it is now.
Yeah. You always hear people, I see people post it all the time, and it's not my story, but where people say, that, do what you're passionate about. Do the whatever you love, and that type of deal. And so I kind of admire whenever I see somebody do that, just because it's not my story. Like, for me, for example, I didn't look one day and say, "Hey, I'm going to open up a print shop." I just wanted to be in business for myself. And so Red Alpha Custom Prints just kind of the idea of doing it just kind of came to me as I was doing something like I was doing public relations for companies and stuff like that, and doing sales. And I was like, this, I saw an opportunity, and then I was at the stage of my life where I was like, I don't want to keep starting new stuff. I want to establish myself and just stick with it. And then here we are, going on 16 years of Red Alpha. And but the thing that we're transitioning to is something a little bit more within my passion. Telling stories, but also hearing other people's stories, because that, to me, that's where the magic is when it comes to business. It's not so much the stuff that we put on social media. It's the things that go on behind the scenes that maybe, the public or the community never even consider, right? And I think a lot of times as business owners, we get sort of typecast as the product that you sell. Like for me, I may be the banner guy, or I may be the T-shirt guy, or the sign guy, or the rap guy. And but behind all of those products and services, there's an actual person, just like it is with your business. And I think that the person behind Run It Back Classic is someone worth talking about and hearing their story. We did a little bit of research, man. Like I said, it says here that so you did the inventory, and did you run it out of a out of a garage or storage?
So, so if you want, I can tell you the whole story. Really,
Yeah, tell me.
it started.
Tell me. Yeah.
All right. So like I was saying, so it started off with me in like 2016. Just like I said, I started looking for multiple sizes, and then what I did was I made my first Instagram for selling clothes, and I had a little setup in my room of like a top and bottom rack, and it was just clothes I was just selling. So I would post all of those on Instagram, and Depop is where I really started too, and that was my first. That's what got me going. And then over the couple years, I was busy with, I did soccer my senior year. So 2016 was like sophomore. And then over the couple years, I was selling a little bit on my Instagram, a little bit on Depop. And then I kind of put to the side for my senior year because I had soccer. But once I got done with that, I started doing it more on Depop. And then eventually, after I graduated, I was working at Abuelo's serving tables. And I would serve during the lunch, and then I would go home. Well, this was actually, I'd lost my job at Abuelo's because it was COVID at the time.
Hmm.
So after high school, I went to college for like a couple years, and then it was 2020, and then that's when I lost my job at Abuelo's for like a couple weeks.
Hmm.
And I was like, man, I like to make money, and I like to buy things for myself, So I was like, how am I gonna do this? And then I was asking my mom. I was living with my mom at the time, and she
Hmm.
suggested, why don't we open something in the garage? Why don't we set you up something in the garage?
Hmm.
And I was like, that's actually a really good idea. It's crazy. It
Yeah.
sounds kind of crazy, but I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm with it. So what I did, we set that up in the garage, and then I finally got my job back at Abuelo's after they started letting people, social distancing and all that. So I would go to lunch shift at Abuelo's, get off about 3 or 4, and then I would go home and open up the garage until the sun went down every single day.
Yeah.
And I would literally post every day on there. I would have people come to my garage every day and shop a little bit, which was very small amount of people at the time.
Hmm.
But people were coming through, and I was like, man, this is actually working out. So
Hmm.
after about probably like 3 to 4 months of that, I was like, you know what? I think I'm almost ready to open up a store here because I got the clientele. I think I'm comfortable with it. I got some money saved up. I got a good opportunity on a building because it was during COVID time. So I got a really good discount on a building on the north side.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? We're just gonna go for it because you never know until you try. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And that's literally how it started. We opened up in October of 2020
Hmm.
during COVID time, and people thought it was crazy. Grand
Yeah.
opening, everybody was wearing masks. I was wearing masks. It was a different time for sure, but it kicked off. We had a very good grand opening, and just have been working at it every single day since, man.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that, man. I remember it clearly. COVID, like it really, I think that it brought out the hustler in a lot of people. it put a lot of people like in a crossroads where it's like, either you're going to, I don't know. To me, it's like if you don't have that hustle, it's going to expose it, right?
I think
And
it's sink or
so,
swim.
like a sink or swim, and we were all put in that situation at that time, and it was. So you see the rise of the social media influencers and people, doing the social media sales, selling on
Hmm.
social media, and so I've always like I come from the old school sales philosophy that you want to play in traffic. So wherever the traffic is, your customer base or people that maybe can refer you to your customer base, or maybe someone who just can be a good like point you in the right direction or whatever. Wherever that traffic is, that's where you want to be. And so at 2020, in 2020, it was just real clear to me that even though you couldn't go inside the buildings and purchase, that didn't mean that you were out in business. You got to get behind a camera and get your phone out and start recording some videos and start taking pictures and don't worry about if it's perfect. Just do it, and people enjoy I think people enjoy the journey. They like watching somebody start and stick with it, and then eventually you have a success story. And I'm sure there's people out there that that maybe want to watch people fail. But I'm talking about the people that are rooting for you. They want to see you start. They'll support you along the way. And then they'll be cheering you on whenever you finally arrive, man. It's So outside of your personal style, do you like whenever you're going out and you're looking for things that will potentially be on sale at your store? Is there something that you kind of like a rule that you look for, or something, a particular thing that you're looking for whenever you're picking whether it's the clothing or even the collectible cards or anything like that? Is there something in particular that you look for?
Really, I just try to pay attention to what's like selling all around me. Look at social media all the time, look at the eBay sales, just kind of what's really in, what's moving off the racks for me the best, what's moving out the door for me the best. You have to pay attention to that all the time
Yeah, yeah,
because it's not really all about what you like, it's about what your customer likes. So,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? You can have all the stuff you think is cool in store, but if it's not selling, then you're not gonna be successful.
That's right.
You
That's
got to
right.
cater to your customers.
That's right.
So it's
So
really,
just kind of being involved and always learning and being up on
yes,
the trends and things like that.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, just staying up to date, man.
yeah. And that includes technology, right? I mean, I think we had the conversation of doing some online selling because I was curious about that app Whatnot, and
Hmm.
so it was something that I wanted to do, like maybe have some flash sales of material that we have that we really can't sell it because it's not on a roll. But if I make it the size of a small yard sign or things like that, and then sell it at a discount, it might help us move some of this leftover material from
Hmm.
project.
Yeah.
And so doing live selling is definitely something that I've been kind of watching and waiting for the right opportunity for me. And I thought that this right here was going to be the thing that, and I still do, might be the thing that leads to that, to where we'll have a day, to where we're just kind of selling, stuff that we have that's not on a roll anymore, and seeing how that goes. But you've been doing online selling for a bit too, right? Like on Instagram and TikTok, maybe.
Yes. So it's been Instagram, eBay, and like I said, first it was like Depop. I was on there pretty heavy on the Depop because that was like for the thrifted clothes and stuff.
Hmm.
But now, yeah, for sure. I tried Whatnot a little bit. It's pretty good. Just everything has their fees, but it's if
Yeah.
you can get something at the right price and you can flip it on there, it's kind of like for cheaper sales if you can. It's a good way to get rid of inventory for sure.
Wow. Have you come across anything that you liked so much that you knew would sell, but you just had to keep it for yourself?
Oh, a lot, man. Over the years, there's been so many things where I've had it, kept it for a while, and then some. I just one day I have to let it go. You know, like I if I don't use it as much as I want to, I try to rotate stuff in. If I get something in, I try to let something go. That way, I don't have too much.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I get emotionally attached to some of the things, like my tools. Like I literally almost had a funeral for my first heat gun that went out because I named him. Well, it was a Wagner heat gun, right? And so I just I didn't realize it when I was using it, but after looking at a lot of the pictures afterwards, like I was taking pictures of my heat gun, like there it is on the ladder, here it is, it was weird, a weird emotional attachment to my
Hmm.
tools, and then even my ladders and stuff like that, it's crazy, man, and so I get emotionally attached to stuff, and I mean, you'll see stuff that I probably should have gotten rid of a long time ago, but they have that sentimental value. Like I'm staring at my laptop that I used whenever I first opened up our business. It doesn't work anymore. It's just sitting right there doing nothing. But to me, it's part of the story.
It is.
uh,
It is.
and it's like it's almost like a person. I get more attached to my tools and equipment than I do people sometimes. And so yeah. What about? Do you remember the very first thing? Was there uh, like a product or something like that that you sold that was kind of like where you knew, okay, this is it. I can do this.
Yeah, so I was at a Salvation Army. This is like probably 2019, I think.
Mhm.
And I found this hat for like $1. And I go home, I post it on Depop, and it sells in like 5 minutes for about like $100.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh shoot. I was thinking if it sold that fast for that price, maybe I underpriced it, but that was when I realized like there's actually stuff out there, to flip.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
That people are into, man. Like I
Exactly, yeah.
I kind of like because it comes in cycles, man. Like I look at some of the stuff that you have. I mentioned the cards, but when my son's a little bit older than you, I believe, and so I started him out with the Pokemon collection, and so I guess had enough foresight back then to know that the collectible is going to be good for a little bit, because even back then the baseball cards, were something that us as kids that we would look forward to buying the pack and eating the
Oh yeah.
chewing gum and having stuff like that. But the Pokemon cards in particular were one that where it's like, okay, so my son, he was into it, and so we started getting some cards, and whenever we visited Mexico, they had some Japanese cards that, granted, I didn't know what I was doing. I just like, well, if it's from Japan, maybe these are have a little bit more value, and then we had a little portfolio that he had, and I don't know if he still has those, but I know that he has a collection that he's been collecting over the last couple of years, and
Mm.
so I've been telling him about you guys and say, maybe you might have something that he wants or vice versa, but him and one of my daughters are into collecting the cards as well, and so it's kind of interesting to see that I guess that culture kind of just transferred to your kids and then the younger generations, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's huge, man. It's very huge right now. A lot of people are finding their old collections and they can't believe how much it's worth when they come in and want it quoted.
Yeah. Do you also carry comic books?
I don't at the moment. I think I've had maybe like one or two that are actually like graded, professionally graded and all that, but not just by itself.
Yeah, that's another thing that I was into. Like right now is really the like as far as movies goes, like I'm on top of the world, man, because all of the Marvel stuff, those are the kind of things that I used to be into whenever I was in high school and even middle school, and just reading the comics and now seeing the stories play out, on the big screen is pretty
Hmm.
cool to me. So I'm really into that kind of stuff. But I did have some old comics that I don't know if they're still at my mom's house or where they're at, but like some old Secret Wars stuff and I was into Spider-Man and Daredevil and all the main characters, you know. And but I didn't have the foresight as like one of my friends. He would buy one. He would buy two. He'd buy one to collect and one to read. And I was just buying one to read. So mine's are, you know, kind of worn and they're not in mint condition. But I've always had that type of interest. And I think, you know, you can kind of, you said when you were in high school, it kind of painted a picture of what you'd be doing, you know, here in a few years, right? And so if I look at my thing, there are like glimpses of storytelling along the way, and I've even before I knew that I was going to be, you know, doing printing and doing T-shirts and stuff like that, I had ideas in my head of a story that just wasn't really like I hadn't really put down the pencil or started writing it out, like my Tito Tamale character, and then even in business we've created characters that you know I didn't know what to do with. It just either became a shirt or it became something like that. This shirt right here, I hope you appreciate that I got dressed up for you. I'm wearing my tuxedo shirt, but it actually came from an idea that I have. It's called El Catrin de Red Alpha, right? And so I wanted to show you this because I printed it. I printed it just a regular decal, but I wanted to see. I mean, do you think I got an opportunity in trading cards? These are all variations of me. So this
That's
is one.
funny.
This is one El Catrin, the Red Alpha. I used that character whenever I was doing tuxedo wraps, and so I was like, I'm not just gonna do a tuxedo wrap. I'm gonna be dressed up as a, you know, as El Catrin, and so I made this shirt for myself. I was wearing a top hat, and I didn't have a monocle, but you know, it's like just trying to tell the story in a different way, you know.
Yeah.
And then of course there's this one right here, it's the Rat Fu Master. That's one side of the card, and on the back it's got like stats and strengths and a little bit of a bio, you know. And then of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
it's getting ready to be football season, so I have to have the variant in a football thing. So yeah, man, I'm actually thinking about. I had these designed for about a year, last year actually, and so you know I'm going to print these cards and I'm going to put them in customers' bags, and there'll be QR codes so that they can connect with us and be able to see some of these shows and you know see our social medias and stuff like that, and then maybe you know through your with the long tail they'll become customers of ours. But I get excited about just telling the story in a different way, you know,
No, definitely. Yeah, it's fun.
and I love hearing other people's stories. But what do you think, man? What do you think about that? Is it too cheesy, or is it something that I should keep doing?
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty creative. I like it because it's different, you know. It's not the same old stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I like
yeah.
it.
So we're gonna run with it, man. Run with the cards and just see how many I can come up with. And we do have stories like a character that's called Tito Tamale, like I mentioned. And so I want to start doing some stuff, doing some cards, and man, if I can get somebody to 3D print a bobblehead of him and things like that, and maybe eventually we'll start telling the story of him. Right now it's just in blog form, and I got characters on our blog, on our website that we talk about, and we created some T-shirts and things like that. But those are more like for me telling my story, and then one day my grandkids can kind of see, you know, all the crazy thoughts that I had, and you know, after we retire and stuff like that. So, but yeah, but I wanted to just kind of ask you before I didn't want to keep you too long because I know that you got some dad responsibilities now, man, and
Yep.
that's crazy. Just whenever you told me that, I was like, man, Ray's growing up in front of my eyes.
Yep, seriously.
Yeah, but you know, so there's probably some people that are going to come across this video, whether it's a clip or maybe they're going to take time and just watch the video that you know, because of you. What are some things that you know that for the person that's coming you know after you, you know, the young entrepreneur that's in high school right now, right? And maybe he's into something like what you were. what are some things that you would tell that person, or if you want to look at it this way, what would you tell yourself if you had the opportunity to be able to talk to yourself in high school?
So I would probably say, like, just just get your clientele. If you before you try to like open a store or anything, get your clientele like established. Um, like I always tell myself, figure out what's moving best for you, what's leaving your racks best for you. Um, just be smart with your money. Um, Pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah, man,
I
that
mean,
is
you
that's
can
some
grind.
value.
You can really just grind it out. You know, you get to where you want, as long as you're staying consistent
Hmm.
and just keep going. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a common theme, with a lot of business owners that, the consistency is key, and then having that, that I guess that grind mentality to where it's like, even though things may not look like you wanted to look, but you're still going to get up every single day, and you're going to show up as if it's, you're going to have a crowd of people you're going to sell out that day. And I know for me that helps me to be optimistic about each and every day, and I think that it puts us in a position to have a good day. But if you go into it thinking that it's not going to be a great day, chances are it's not going to be a good day. Uh, but
Exactly. Yeah.
but hearing some of the advice that you have, it's actually refreshing because it's different from me. To me, it was always about the grit. It was about getting up when you get knocked down, and I think that those things are important. But it's refreshing to see somebody who's responsible with it. You know what I mean? You said be good with your money, establish your clientele. See what's going off of your rack, see what's selling, and do that kind of stuff. Those are like really smart and reasonable, logical pieces of advice that I think people need to hear. Because my generation is probably like, oh, rub some dirt on it, be tough, get back up and do it again, and stop crying and those kind of things, right? But to hear you say it, and you've always been had a calm demeanor. You know what I mean? It's like just it almost seems like nothing bothers you. You seem really patient, and that's refreshing. It's kind of to be able to see that it doesn't have to just be a hammer breaking through. It's you can be patient and you can be calm building a business. So actually pretty cool, man.
Yeah. I will say, like, it it doesn't all come in one day, man. It takes a lot of grinding, like I said, and there's gonna be a lot of lessons learned. I still learn lessons of myself. It's not all gonna be rainbows and sunshine.
That's right. That's right. Well, man, I wanted to stay true to the time limit that you gave us. That's real important. I value your time, and so I didn't want to go over. But before we leave, and I know that your following is big, but just in case there's some stragglers that are coming through that haven't connected with you, what is the best way to find you? On social media or your website, your address. What are some ways that people can connect with you?
So we're at 3234 South 27th Street, 79605 in Abilene, Texas. And then our Instagram is going to be Run It Back Classics LLC, same as our TikTok. And you can find us on Facebook at Run It Back Classics also.
Awesome. Well, man, I know I'm connected with you. Do you have any questions for me? Anything that you would ask that maybe you're curious about? I mean, you like my shirt? I don't know anything. Man. I'm ready for any type of question.
Let me think. Let me think. When you said you started, like, what, 16 years ago?
16 years ago, 2010 is whenever we started.
What were the first things you were selling when you first started?
T-shirts. We had a printer and a heat press, and we were doing like heat transfer vinyl. And then within a couple of months, we got an embroidery machine. And then, well, actually, we got a direct to garment printer. And then we got an embroidery machine. And then it took about 2 years, and we started getting into the wide format stuff. And then I had to learn, like during those 2 years, I was learning about, the install process and pricing and all of that stuff. And then so we're going on about a good 13 years of doing the vehicle wrap, signs and banners and all that. And but yeah, the very first thing was heat transfer vinyl, and many nights of just weeding that stuff. The plotter, I didn't even know how to run my plotter properly because another thing that I've needed to work on is I don't read the instructions. And so I didn't read the manual of my plotter, and for years I was installing the blade wrong. And so we were replacing blades every month and cutting strips, every couple of months. And I was like, man, what is wrong with this? And then I was hearing people tell me, well, we've had the same blade and cutting mat for years. Like, you're doing something wrong. So I looked at the manual and I was like, oh man, I've been installing this blade the wrong. And that's the reason why all of the heartache that I created for myself, But yeah, heat transfer vinyl, man. We started out with T-shirts, and it's one of those things to where it's like, with the rise of the do-it-yourselfer, I instead of trying to really compete in that game, I got established clients that come to me for their T-shirts, for their businesses and stuff like that. But what I did is I pivoted to doing custom stuff that you can't get anywhere else, and printing for people who do it as a hobby. And so you can get your heat transfer vinyl from us, and then you take it and you go press it if you have a heat press, that kind of deal. And so the way I look at it right there is like, if you can't beat them, join them. And so later on we're gonna maybe provide the printers and the materials and supplies that you need to print for yourself. Maybe even the blank T-shirts. That way, because I see that's the DIYer might be here to stay.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we got plans for that. So, but yeah.
Well, man, I don't know how often you hear this, but y'all are killing it. It seems like you just gotten busier and busier over the years. I've seen the growth, and y'all are doing amazing.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Same to you, man. You're doing a great job. Keep at it. We'll be here to support your business as long as you have us. And just know that we're, behind the scenes. We're rooting you, cheering for you. We're praying for you. And I consider yourself a friend. I consider you a friend and not just a customer. And really, it means the world that you would take the time to be on our show.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. I appreciate y'all having me. For real, it's an honor.
Yes, sir. No problem. Well, all right. Go out, go be a dad, and take care of that baby, and have a good day.
All right, man. Y'all too. Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, sir.
Running Back Classics out of here.
All right. So, all right, everybody, that was a great show. Ray told me, he said, "Man, I can set aside 30 minutes," and so I think we were right on point with that. And so that's something that we want to do. We want to make sure that we are, respectful of our guests' time. We want to start on time, and we want to give them the amount of time that we set aside for them. But if your business is, or maybe you got a story, maybe you run an organization, or you got something that you want to talk about, and you would like to be one of our guests, send us a message. You can find us on social media. We're on all the social media platforms, the main ones. Send us a direct message, or you can send an email to sales@redacp.com. We'll have all this information in the comments section so that you guys don't have to remember it. Or just give us a call, and we'll get you on the schedule. We're lining them up. In fact, today we're doing a double header. We had this one in the morning, but we have our regular scheduled guest tonight at 6 o'clock, which is going to be Tyler from Key City Digital. He's going to be our guest. You guys probably seen our social medias that are going out. So be sure to tune in again to Red Alpha Studios. Be part of our live audience. Send us some messages. During the live stream. If you have any questions for myself or Tyler, just kind of make it a little bit more fun. Make sure you share the link after we edit this, to the people in your group, so that way they can become aware of what we're trying to do. And of course, if you guys need anything from Red Alpha, give us a call and we'll be sure to help you out to the best of our ability. But that's all we have for today. That's Red Alpha out. Cue the music.
Keep it rap food, keep it rap food. Keep it rap food, keep it rap food. Keep it rap food, keep it rap food.